Alright, can everybody hear me? Is this thing on? Alright, I just needed a quick study break. I've been doing all my homework for this business class. Gotta get it knocked out, and I've been at it for a couple hours, and it's getting a little frustrating, so I thought I'd have a quick study break, especially because this is absolutely the most depressing chapter in this management class that I've done so far, so I thought it would only be natural to share it with you. So here's the deal. Here's what's killing me right now. It's actually I'm doing these case studies, and this particular one is on the Whole Foods and the culture of Whole Foods. Now this book was only published like I think probably like a year ago or so. Let me see if it has a date on it. I'll let you guys know if it does. Where does it say when it was published? It says third edition. I don't know. It's Principles and Application, Management Principles and Applications. It's by Leonard Bierman. If anybody wants some light reading, which is absolutely a joke, I do not recommend going to pick up this book just for fun. Unless you want to learn something, in which case you will definitely learn a thing or two. But no, I'm reading in here about the Amazon. Well, it's actually before Amazon had acquired Whole Foods, so they were actually probably writing and publishing this book around the time that happened. So all they do when they talk about Whole Foods is how they use teamwork to motivate employees and increase productivity within the organization. They had some pretty awesome programs like when they would hire people, they would hire them under a provisional period. So you'd be already working in the store with your coworkers, and then at the end of your provisional period, those people that you're actually working with get to decide if you get the job or not, which is freaking awesome. I mean, that's like a huge thing. You actually get to pick your own coworkers. Then you never find out in an interview how hard somebody works. I interview incredibly well, and I really don't want to work. If you haven't noticed, I literally talk to myself and then I share it with you guys. Like, it would be cool if that was like, to me, that sounds like a really cool job. So you get an idea about how much I really want to work. Uh, but yeah, I mean, they do all kinds of crazy stuff. Those teams that decide on the new employees, they also get to make their schedules. Like, so the five or six of you sit down together and say, okay, well, one of us needs to be here at all times, but we need two of us here during peak hours. So between the six of us, we have to build our schedule for the week. Like, that's just an example. That might not be literally the numbers and figures we're working with, but I'm just saying, like, you get to sit down with your coworkers and make a schedule that works for all of you. That sounds like a great deal for everyone involved. But yeah, so they got, the team aspect of putting it together for the workday, but then they also do stuff like they do employee stock options. So like as an employee, they do a stock sharing and profit sharing for all the employees, and you can purchase stock and get invested in the company on any level, and 94% of those stock options went to non-executive employees. So I mean, mind you, that's still probably like frontline management positions and maybe even middle management. But I mean, there are still some employees at the ground level that are purchasing and gaining these stocks, like because they believe in the company. And then they're given these as bonuses also. So, Christmas holiday bonuses. They say, hey, like, you've been here a year, you now, we're giving you X amount of ownership in the company. So this is a cash value. These can be cashed out. But what I'm saying is, like, they're given partial ownership to the people that are actually doing the job. So every day when they work really, really hard, and they're working more than their hourly amounts worth, they can say, well, I've just increased value in the company, and that will go around and come around. So much incentive to hire people that don't fucking suck and to like not suck yourself while you're there. And Amazon comes in late 2017. They come in the fall of 2017, and they purchased the company. And within like 1 year, like a couple dozen executive employees leave Whole Foods. Pretty much all of their senior management is wiped out, and they're like, yeah, we just don't really like what's going on here. They've completely stopped the stock sharing, so non-executive employees cannot get stocks anymore. And in addition to that, they've like slashed bonuses for those senior management people. Like they're like, yeah, you guys aren't, we'll give you like a little something, but it's not going to be like what it used to be. So they're like, yeah, there's no real incentive. I'm out of here. In addition to that, I mean, Amazon they did away with all of that autonomy crap that I was just telling you about as far as the teamwork. All that's gone. No more provisional hiring period. No more creating your own schedule. They brought in a lot of really young executives and e-commerce people. And so these senior managers that like started working for this company in the 80s. So they're, I mean, yeah, granted, they're like kind of dinosaurs, but they're also a bunch of like hippy dippy Nixon era Democrat capitalists that like care about responsible capitalism, like how it's supposed to work. Like, the profits drive the reward, but like there has to be ethics for it to work. There has to be a line of things you're not willing to do, which we're completely lost on today. All these executives are freaking psychopaths, which is why you got people making less money than they even can get to survive. And you even get ground level management that are like, oh yeah, well we release the schedule week by week. Really? You give me a week by week schedule. You only want to cut me a bi weekly check, but you can't even give me a bi weekly schedule. You got to feed me that on Monday. Okay, anyway, I'll move away from that before I get a little bit too hot. My point is, they got rid of a lot of these benefits that were keeping people around, and people just aren't having it. They don't want to stay for it, they don't want to be a part of it, and so they're fleeing. And Amazon, their main defense of like the slashing the benefits and all this stuff. They're like, well, we brought in the $15 an hour Amazon minimum wage. Our minimum wage is now $15 per hour. So of course things had to change. Of course things had to change. Do you hear me? No. No, they didn't have to change. The average Whole Foods retail employee, meaning the person actually like selling the shit, not managers and senior managers and executives. No, the average retail employee of Whole Foods was making $21 an hour before Amazon showed up. And they were like, yeah, fuck that. We're done. We're not doing that anymore. $15 an hour minimum wage sounds great on the headline of some stupid online bullshit Amazon Amazon propaganda article, but the reality is that things were just fine there before they showed up, and they said we are now going to shift the focus on satisfying customers and customer happiness when they already had the perfect system of focusing on the satisfaction of employees and employee happiness. They had a great system. They had a great corporation. It was so great that the largest company in America, the largest tech company in the world right now, and they looked around and they were like, wow, this grocery store chain is pretty nice. Maybe instead of focusing on tech, we'll buy the organic grocery store because that's what they love in Southern California. And they went in and they fucked it all up, the whole thing for everyone. They just ruined it because they need to make sure that their customers are happy because they have a responsibility to their shareholders instead of the fucking people that work for them. That doesn't make any sense at all. There are actual human beings that are in there every day. They're taking time away from their wives and their kids and all of the other things that are important to them, their hobbies, their dreams. They are giving those up. They are renting those to you for $15 an hour minimum, and you have the audacity to say that they aren't the priority. Those people aren't the priority. The real priority is the fucking asshole who just throws a bunch of money at it and says, I'll get back to you in a year, just let me know how much I get. Alright, you have to understand the amount of stress that I'm under because I am in the middle of doing a bunch of homework. I just thought I'd get this out because Liz had to run and take a test, and I've been at this for a couple hours, and I'm probably only about halfway done. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to share this with you, hopefully as a means to de-stress myself. And yeah, I figure, I don't know, I'm probably gonna take my medication and keep at it. Oh, not Adderall, it's just weed. Alright, see you.